Hey, I'm Matt the Red. Welcome back to my channel. Hopefully this is video 2 for you that you're watching in the month of January. You got yesterday's video and you said, oh, hey, Matt put up another video just like he said he would at 10 a.m. And here I am to hear him complain about social media. That's what we're doing. I'm gonna gripe a little bit, and maybe that is something that you like. Maybe you like hearing people complain about things that you dislike, and maybe you don't care. It's just a video, and you want to sit down and watch me for 5 to 10 minutes as I discussed why I don't often use social media. So to back things up, I used to love social media. It was my generation where social media, took off. So I had a MySpace as soon as I could. I had a Facebook as soon as I could, Twitter, etc. And I really enjoyed these platforms. And so I accumulated a following, a minor, relatively small following of a few hundred people. And I love the fact that I could share my thoughts and opinions with the world and have instant feedback, instant gratification. Do people agree with me? Do people disagree with me? And then why? I absolutely love the comment sections where I could interact with other people, mostly my friends who had differing or similar opinions than me. I really enjoyed it. But things changed as technology progressed and as I was self-critical about the whole process, and I determined maybe this thing isn't for me. And so it's been a few years. I don't have an exact time frame. I could have looked this up before the video was started, but I didn't do that. I used to use social media a lot, and then in my college years, I stopped, honestly. I would check it for my birthday, and if I was bored or procrastinating, I would also hop back on to see what was going on in the world. And I spoke with some people who shared similar opinions, my wife being one of them, about why this was, but let me break them down piece by piece. My primary reason that I quit social media is because I really like attention, and I was searching for people to give me their thoughts and opinions that agreed with me or disagreed with me. Honestly, I didn't care whether or not people agreed with me. I really just wanted those clicks. I wanted to know that people were concerned about my thoughts. I still like that. I still really value attention. I just know that what I originally enjoyed about Facebook in particular stopped giving me what I wanted. And at the end of the day, I don't think attention was a good enough reason to use the platform. Beyond that, I also get bored and distracted easily. So I would go to the site not because I was genuinely interested in what other people had to say, but because I had nothing better to do. So I would have it on my phone and I would go to it for multiple hours at a time, usually while I was watching TV or doing something else. It would be something that could occupy my time, but in reality, that just meant that I wasn't able to do other things that I really wanted to do, what I should have been spending my time on. I have similar opinions about mobile games. I used to play a lot, and recently I've been playing them a little bit, but I'm on a break, so that's okay. But I enjoy things that can occupy my time. And so while I'm watching TV with my wife, or while I'm just doing nothing at a restaurant, I'll pull out my phone, and maybe that's like you, go to a social media app and just scroll for a while. So it wasn't actually giving me something that I wanted. It was just giving me a distraction. This is an older reason, but in my early days, especially when I was in high school on Facebook, I would use the platform to argue with people. So I would have strong opinions and the ability, at least in my head as a high school student, I thought that I could argue well. Looking back, Facebook has that wonderful feature where you can go see what stupid things you said years and years ago. And I would say, why? Why did I feel it necessary to give my opinions? And why did I find it necessary to disagree with people to the degree that I did? I like to prove people wrong, and I don't think that is a healthy trait. And so I'm glad that I don't get to do it a lot, or I don't choose to do it a lot anymore. I'm sure that I could still argue with people if I chose to. I would say Facebook, especially over the last few years, is a very toxic place when you express opinions that are different than the masses. And the masses obviously depend on who your friends are on Facebook. And it's easy maybe to find a lot of people who agree with you and a lot of people who disagree with you. And you can use the platform just to argue back and forth about why the other person isn't just wrong, but why they're stupid, and escalating language being used there. And so eventually I just didn't see it as something that I wanted to do. Related to that point, I get annoyed with stupidity. And so when people, not only when people disagree with me, but particularly the way that people disagree with each other, if it's in order to demean or to denigrate the other person, that's something that I probably did when I was younger, but I really do not appreciate when people treat each other like they're less than human. And then finally, I think this is a common reason for a lot of people. I compared my life against the lives of people that I saw on my Facebook feed or on my Instagram feed or on my Twitter feed. I would see what they were doing and I would say, wow, how do they have a house already? I don't have that. Or how do they have this cool car or whatever it is, the things that a person can gather while they're on this earth. I was drawn to those things and caught up in a game of comparing what I had to what other people had. I wasn't content and I wasn't genuinely sharing who I was. I was trying to share the best version in my mind of myself so that people could like me at the end of the day. My bottom line for why I dislike social media is that it's not, for me, and this could be different for you, it's not a place for genuine communication. Genuine communication is something that I crave. I think that it's something that all humans crave. And maybe some people can find that community in social media. That's just not something I could find. And this is a biblical reason as well. God created humans with a desire for community. When God created Adam, he wasn't content to leave him by himself. And this is mind-boggling to me that Adam, in the very presence of God, with the entire world that he could explore and all the animals that he had rule over, literally the entire earth and only a relationship with God, God said it wasn't enough for man to be alone. So God is the one who has the idea to create Eve, a partner for him, to provide community, to demonstrate that it is essential for a human to have another human that they can be in relationship with. Now, you might be introverted and you might have a different definition of what it means for you to crave human communication, human community. But at the end of the day, I do think that it's something human in our human nature to desire to know and be known, or to be loved and to love other humans. So if it's something that's common in all of us, I think that it's not surprising if a lot of people approach social media hoping that that's where they can find some sense of community. But at the end of the day, they say, what I thought this platform would be, it ends up not being. So if I had to put it in a different way, I would say that social media became a form of diluted community, to the point where I would say like 90% of the friends that I have on Facebook or on these other platforms don't genuinely know me. They might interact with the stuff that I put on Facebook if I still did that. But they don't see me on a consistent basis. We don't text, we don't message each other. So it's not a genuine relationship if the only interaction you have is putting a like or a heart on somebody's content. So I would also say that YouTube is not above that. The same flaws that belong to social media belong to YouTube. That the YouTube comment section can be a place where people are derogatory towards others and seek out hostility and seek out conflict because they enjoy riling people up or they enjoy being right. But I want to cultivate a community where we're able to hear each other out and respect each other's opinions, even if we disagree. Because at the end of the day, and I said this earlier, but it's a human to human interaction. And I know that on the internet, there's a sense of anonymity where you feel like you can say whatever you want and you exaggerate your emotions, your feelings, because you feel like there are no repercussions to it because they don't know who you are and you don't know who they are. And I would encourage you, if you're interested in trying to cultivate a more positive community, just let me know that that's something that you're interested in the comments down below. All that being said, I know social media has its flaws, and some of you can enjoy that, and that's perfectly acceptable. I'm not trying to convince you to stop using social media. I'm just trying to explain my reasons for not enjoying the various platforms that I once enjoyed as a child. But I want to hear from you. What do you think? Do you enjoy using social media? Are there similar complaints that you have or positive things that you see that I don't necessarily see? And then finally, I just want to leave you with tomorrow's video. We're going to be talking about the exciting topic of death. In particular, we're going to be talking or examining biblically the topic of death from Genesis to Revelation and saying, what does the Bible have to say about death as a whole? So if that interests you and you want to hear more about it, tomorrow at 10, the next video is going to be coming up. So thank you so much for listening. I've been Matt the Red. I'll see you tomorrow.